Welcome back to the Better Lives Podcast. I'm your host, Eric.
And I'm Michelle.
With me today is Amellio Carney, branch manager of the Salem Lancaster branch, and he has over a decade of experience in the financial service industry. Amellio has cultivated a diverse skill set in banking and lending. He began his career at a credit union, so is very familiar with the value of working at a credit union. In 2018, Amellio relocated from Oregon to Alaska. Sorry about that, Amellio. Amellio joined the Central Willamette team back in 2024. He leverages his extensive knowledge and experience to lead a dynamic team focusing on delivering exceptional financial solutions to members. So welcome with Amellio. Tell us a little bit about yourself. But more than what I went over and messed up with.
Awesome. No, I think you did fine. First, I'm honored to be here. I was listening to a lot of the episodes, and I was waiting for the invitation, and I'm glad I got it. So again, thanks for extending the invite there. And about myself, so yeah, you nailed it. About a decade of experience in financial services. I did start with a credit union in Alaska, and that's kind of where I shaped like my professional demeanor and a lot of my philosophy. And then in 2018, I moved from Alaska to Oregon, and I was working with a bigger regional bank, very different culture. It fed a different part of me. It was way more competitive, but along with that comes burnout a lot of the times. So I did that for a few years, and then I went to the mortgage realm, saw some of the lowest rates ever with COVID, and then I saw some of the highest rates we've seen in 20 plus years as of recent, starting in like 2023, 2022-ish. And so I was getting paid off of volume and not units. There weren't a lot of units going through, so I decided to pivot, and then I ended up with Central Willamette Credit Union, and it was, some people say like hardships can be like blessing in disguise, and I think that was it for me. I've started in October of 2024, and I've learned so much, grown so much, and really excited to be here.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's funny because like I think you were like one of the first people I bumped into, and I was like, "Oh, how long have you been here?" It's like a month, and then the next person I met, "Oh, I've been here for 6 months." It seemed like we were just going through this hiring phase because I started in November. Actually, I started the same day as Michelle. We went through the first new hire training together. So what's your experience like been here? What's the biggest standout, the differences between working with a larger regional bank versus working with Central Willamette? I think that's a super important dichotomy to kind of understand because, yes, you're in the financial world, but there is very different philosophies behind both of them. Is there one that stands out most to you?
Yeah. Thanks for asking. So the biggest for me is the heart of a credit union versus a bank. I was with a regional bank, deposits, loan services, whatnot. And then I was with an investment bank when I was doing mortgages. And then coming here, obviously, we're a member-owned credit union. We do a lot for the right reasons, I think is the difference, because with the bank, an investment bank, then it's a lot about the bottom line. And being employed by them, it's competitive. They'll pin you against coworkers and managers as well, because everybody has a production bucket they want to hit. And like I was working with one, he was an area retail leader, but he would post your numbers for the whole company to see, which fueled some of the people, I guess the right people, and then others, it kind of ticked off, and then, they made their way out. But 90% of people ended up being burnt out in that setting. I think I mentioned that before. But coming here, it was how can we best serve our members and how can we best serve our communities? And then Louisa came along, and I think she gave herself the title, which is awesome, but she is the Chief Experience Officer, and she wants the experience to be best for both members and employees. So it's that's the philosophy, that's the heart, and that's what I've seen since being here.
That's awesome. Yeah. I know we're a not-for-profit. It's not that we don't want to be profitable, which is not profit's not our bottom line. I know this is a very blanketed statement and might be controversial, but like the bottom line doesn't go to a bonus, it goes to the community. So it's like, yes, we want to grow and have more assets and be profitable for those reasons, but we also want to grow and have resources to give to the community as well. So just seeing that and being a part of that it's just such a unique philosophy, unique change. Because like you said, you're so used to the competitiveness of like, oh, your peer's doing this, why aren't you doing that? And like that numbers. It's always enough is never enough. You're always climbing the mountain at the beginning of every month and then starting back over at the next month. Like, oh, I did great last month. Well, that doesn't matter today. Yeah. It's like always. And again, that burnout from the corporate world is definitely, it's a different fuel for different people. And the credit union is definitely motivation a little bit different, and it's more about the people.
And it's definitely, I mean, I think even Louisa, we all have goals and we all want to grow. And it's not about necessarily not taking those things into account, but the heart of CW is the fact that there is heart behind it. And we do care about people. And Louisa is a great example of that she wants her employees, she wants all the staff to feel good about what they're doing, even as we strive for goals and continue to grow. So
that's fantastic point. And the fact you said she kind of created her title, because I was always wondering what the chief experience officer, because it's always like C-level like titles. I'm like, is she the CEO or like, and they're like, oh, it's a CXO, and I was like, so yeah, that was kind of cool. But she's a wonderful resource as well, and I've had a lot of interactions that we've had her on the podcast as well.
Love it.
Definitely driving that CU message.
So talking about your day-to-day as a branch manager, what are your goals when you go into the office every day?
Yeah, how do you motivate? I know you're talking about a little bit the motivation practices of a bigger financial institution. What are some of the differences, and how do you avoid burnout?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So my philosophy as a manager is to really be a servant leader and do whatever that means. I think it can be a more difficult route to take as management, instead of, hanging out in your office and saying, pointing and telling your group to go get them. I think that's when you start facing the burnout and whatnot. So for my day-to-day, I just want to make sure that I'm setting just a really healthy environment for my team, and then it will be relayed to the members as well. I think if you go into a branch and the teller helping you is happy, then you're going to have a better experience. I think you're going to be more open to chat with them. They're going to be more open to chat with you. And then you uncover more through that conversation. And that's how, it's going to bleed into sales. The more conversations you have, the more opportunities you're going to identify. So if somebody comes in, talking to you about like their plans this weekend, or what happened last weekend, for example. Oh, my car broke down. Okay, well, we can assist you with either equity extraction that's going to turn into a loan for us, or even purchasing a new vehicle. And on top of being a servant leader, I want to make sure that my team is set up in the right way. So that could look like maybe not X's and O's as much, but more building up the person and then them taking it from there.
Yeah, like you said, like not necessarily just the X and O's, but the reason behind the X and O's. Take the time to develop that, and then also leading by example. That's huge. It's easier to do what people say when they actually do it themselves. So it's a lot like that is an actual, I think the definition of a leader is out in front doing the actions they want seen versus being out the back demanding and trying to drive from behind. So driving from the front definitely helps, avoid that burnout, because if you're asking for more and putting, higher expectations on people, it's easier to want to do those when you see them doing those actions themselves. So.
Oh yeah, 100%. And how my branch is set up, there's days where my team member will be telling, and there's other days where they'll be in the office. And so it gets tricky when there's call outs and whatnot. And just depending on the day, if somebody calls out from telling, on the right occasion, if their numbers are right, I'll ask them to tell. But other times, if they're behind and they need to hit their numbers for the month, whether it be memberships or loans, for example, I'll just jump on the teller line and cover that so they get their office time. It's funny because I'll have members who will come in not realizing that I'm the manager, and they'll mention like, oh, you'll do well, you'll move up, and like, oh, I'm actually the manager of this location.
You're like, I'm hoping to.
That's the plan. Maybe, yeah. I'll be in that office over there one day.
Exactly right. That's funny. So what is that like? I didn't understand that. Like, what is the day-to-day life for them? Like you said, hitting their numbers by being the office versus being the teller. From a person who's never worked in a branch, would assume being the teller would be the place where you interact with people to get more. So how does that office space and office time equate to more numbers? What's the actions there?
Yeah. So if you're in an office, then typically they'll jump in and we'll have online applications that come through. So that's one of the first things I have my team do in the morning is check out what online applications came. And then as members come in throughout the day, sometimes there'll be walk-ins for wires or memberships, or even walk-ins for loans still, even though you can do it online. Most people do, but some people like the old-fashioned way and like to work with somebody face-to-face, which
it's a dying breed, but there's still people out there.
Yeah, they're out there, all right. So usually they'll check in with the teller, and then the teller will refer them to somebody in office, and that's where like a lot of the loan and membership production comes from.
Oh, nice. So with the online loan applications, how does it get funneled to your guys' store versus other locations?
Yeah, so a lot of times they'll choose what branch they want to close at. If they don't, then we'll go based off of address and then follow up with a member and then call. And so the first person who makes that call will be like the closest branch to them. And then if the member requests to work with somebody specific, then we just transfer the loan, no issues. And I think that's one of the big differences between a credit union and a bank is that at a credit union, perfect, it's about assisting the member in the best way possible. At a bank, they're going to fight to keep that member, even if it's not in their best interest or convenient for them.
Find whatever loan,
attach.
Yeah.
Get their hooks into you.
Oh yeah. I've been there.
I know. Yeah, I think we all have those. I mean, it's almost feels predatory at times. Just like you didn't really know what I was doing at 18, but you end up somehow with a couple credit cards and a high interest loan. You're just like, oh, all right, well, cool, free money. But
exactly.
Yeah, I think at a credit union, I don't think that would have happened. Just because, again, they do take the time to get to know the people and understand what the best needs of the person is rather than the best needs of the bottom line.
How often do you and your branch staff, how often do you guys do financial literacy and education and talking to members and deciding what's best?
And how do you guys go about doing that?
Yeah. So feels like every day. Maybe we don't set appointments to come in and specifically say, okay, this is your course in financial literacy, but there's always a coaching opportunity. So, again, whether it be through those conversation clues or somebody comes in requesting fees to be reversed, there's a coaching opportunity there. So if it's fees, for example, you might mention, and to avoid these overdraft fees, which can be hefty a lot of the time, we will discuss like overdraft options with them. So overdrafting from a savings account or putting in an application for a personal line of credit. So instead of getting charged, $20, $30 a pop for every item, you're getting charged $4 instead. And obviously, you're going to notice it on your pocket, especially if you're somebody who doesn't keep track of what's in your checking account on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, so most of it is ad hoc. As soon as it comes up, that's when. Is there any proactive outreach or like places people can go if they had some questions, or what's the best way to reach out to you guys to get some one-on-one time for stuff like that?
Yeah, so on our website, you can set an appointment to discuss really any topic of conversations, financially related, of course, with our
What's
financial
the weather like?
advocates. Yeah. Oh, we get a lot of those too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, a lot of our favorite members will come in, and it's like barbers and like bankers are like therapists a lot of the time. It feels like, because they'll just open up, and I think it's because discussing finances is such a like sensitive topic for people. They feel comfortable opening up about like just a plethora of things. But yeah, so anyways, you are able to set an appointment online or come into the branch and request to sit down with the financial advocate, and they'll discuss with you. your finances and answer any questions you may have. Like I had one of my team members do a rough credit score / report course with an 18-year-old.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, actually he was 17. He told him, hey, when you come back at 18, you're not working on credit, let's discuss. And, you mentioned like some 18-years will walk out with 3 credit cards, which is, can't think of a good reason why that would happen. But we're walking out with a credit card can be benefit them in a large way.
Yeah, not only a credit card, but the right credit card.
The right
for
credit
fit
card.
their needs. Yeah, that's a big thing is like not all credit cards are created the same. And how do you find the differences? Do I want more rewards? Do I want a lower interest rate? Or do I, what is it that I want about this card? So these are the type of people you go to a branch and schedule an appointment to get those questions answered.
I remember when I was 18, it was just get a credit card. Here's your card. Here's your no education, no like what's the best way to use it. No, you get into a lot of trouble when people just hand you cards without any kind of education around it. So.
Yeah. Can you tell us a story or anything that stands out since you've been with the credit union, with Central Willamette more specifically?
Yeah, this one's top of mind because it happened literally yesterday, but it happens every day. We had a member who was locked out of his online banking and over the weekend was swiping his card, ended up with, I think it was close to $300 worth of fees. Just overdraft. Yeah. So he came in yesterday and was like, hey, I had no idea. I was locked out of my online banking. That's how I keep track of my finances, but I just couldn't do it over the weekend. Now I have all these fees and my check hit and like half my check is gone. So like, please help me out. And after listening to him and, reviewing his account history and making that judgment call, we went ahead and just reversed all of the fees. And I think that's a big difference where, at previous financial institutions, if I were to do that, then I'd have to answer to somebody. It's a lot of money to let go.
It's $1 billion industry, late fees.
Yeah, exactly. But where I'm at now and having one-on-one conversations with my my upper management, I knew it wasn't going to be an issue. I wasn't scared to reverse the fees because there was a separate interaction where I had with a member and I reached up to my direct report, Amellio Carney, and she says, make the call. We just want to make sure that we do what's right with the member. And then I followed up with her and it was a similar situation with fees, but just having her backing a world difference for me.
Yeah. Giving the freedom to make those calls on your own.
Trust.
Yeah.
She trusts you to make the right call and to make the appropriate judgment call. So there's a huge amount of trust that leadership gives you guys. So that's awesome.
Agree. Yeah. And that was a big difference where I feel like I was being micromanaged, maybe before. And here it's like they let the people be the people. And then if it takes coaching or guidance, always there for that. I reach out when I need it. But they trust you, and that's why they hired you.
Yeah, and the key question there was what's best for the customer. That's like
member. Did I say customer?
Member. Sorry, I was thinking customer because financial institutions are always But what's best for the member was the key question.
Yeah.
Where other times it's like, oh, do you have enough on your credits this month? How many credits have you given out?
Yeah.
Like there's another
what
number
have you done for us lately?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What are you going to get out of them for getting this? Are they going to get a new this? It's like there's always something that they're requesting and other than just what's best for the customer or best for the member.
Yeah. Are we still gonna make money off of you after we waive these fees?
Exactly.
No. Okay. Yeah. Well, you got your answer.
It feels like a what's best for us versus a what's best for the member when you ask those type of questions.
Exactly. Yeah. It's putting the financial institution first versus the member's wants, needs, and concerns.
Exactly.
So in talking about the community that you're in, what kinds of things, initiatives or activities are branches doing within their communities?
Yeah, I've heard of a couple that other branch managers are doing at their locations. Mine right now in the month of July, we're participating in a Fun Friday event. So every Friday, we'll go set up at a park and just give away free swag. I'm actually here to pick up a pinwheel today. And so give away free swag, pens, koozies, sunglasses, balls, a lot of smaller toys for the children. But it is focused on like lower income areas, is my understanding at least. And it's a cool way just to give back and, put a smile on people's faces. So that's one thing we're participating in. One of my coworkers was partnered with, I believe it was Oregon Housing Authority, and they were opening accounts for members who were trying to get back on their feet. And we actually deposited money into their account if they, followed through and opened a membership with us.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, just being present in the community. I noticed that. That's one of the first things I noticed working here is just like we actually have hours I don't want to say force team members to go use, but we pay our salary employees or hourly employees 4 hours a year to go donate that time to any kind of charity of any of our partner charities.
That was new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you explain a little bit about that? Because I personally don't get to do that because salary employees don't really get that. But are you familiar with that program?
Yeah, the VTO. So it is 4 hours a year. You'll get paid to donate your time. There's a list of approved, nonprofits that will volunteer with, and the credit union will pay you for. And that's pretty much it. I recently had a situation where the nonprofit wasn't on the list, but I just sent them sent HR the information, and then it was approved. So easy as that. So 4 hours a year that you can go and donate back to the community and still get paid for.
Yeah, that's awesome. Just again, having a list of places that we can just go and check and find out there's a place we want to go donate time. That's pretty fantastic.
Well, and it's awesome that your staff can then find the things that they love and are passionate about and give back in a way that they find meaningful. So it's an awesome program.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. I went and did some reading at the Boys and Girls Club in I'm
Nice.
not the same part of the same program, but just because that is a thing, I was able I'm going to go do this thing at 3:30 and read to a bunch of rowdy little kids. It was pretty fun. It was awesome. I was really impressed by the reading level, and it's nice to see these institutions and see what they're doing and the impact it's making on actual people. Just puts a smile on your face. There's a Central Willamette reading room at the Boys and Girls Club in Corvallis, for anyone who doesn't know, and they do anyone can sign up and read for a half hour to the children there. So I definitely recommend reaching out, being on the lookout for that for anybody who's listening.
Nice. You should bring them on the podcast.
Yeah, we're actually going to be filming with them soon. They went through some changes over there as well, but we're going to be doing an actual, I don't want to say documentary, but just kind of like a testimonial video of them. But We're going to do a highlight of everything that we do and the partnership that we have with them. So
nice. Okay.
Yeah, we're definitely reaching out to do more of that kind of stuff. So it's that. It's really cool. It's a cool thing that, again, credit unions do that other places don't. So.
Okay. Yeah, I was talking about the kids, actually. I think you should bring them on the podcast.
Oh, my gosh. The kids, that would be so rowdy. That'd be hilarious, though. Yeah, have them read some books and then, see if we can get through one in an hour.
I'd give it a listen.
Yeah, exactly. Well, awesome, Amellio. We just want to say thanks for coming on the podcast today. We really appreciate it and want to thank you for joining us. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook. Check out our podcast website page and provide feedback and episode suggestions. But other than that, we thank you guys for joining us and look forward to building better lives in the future.
Thank you, guys.
The information provided here is for informational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any financial decisions.